Hello everyone and welcome to this video. So just before the Space DLC and Compressed Gases update came out, I was working on 3 fire trucks. 2 of them had been released before the update and the third one was supposed to be just the crew cab, and then I decided I want to make it a little cooler, so I was going to add a boom that you see here in front of you. Except now, with the Space DLC and the Compressed Gases update, the truck no longer works perfectly. So I want to go through the fixes that I'm going to do in order to get it back up and running. So first thing first, I do want to show you what is broken exactly. It's not the mechanics of the boom, it is this, the pump. So if we plug in our hose here, normally what would happen is we'd be able to spray water and it would go flying at a distance. Except now look what happens, it just kind of drops here. So pretty much our hose systems are entirely broken and not working properly. So let's see exactly what it is that we're going to do, and it's going to hopefully fix our problem. In order to compare and see what is going on, I made 7 different tests. Each one has one single different control variable and the rest are constants. Now you'll find that inside there's just a single pump, and I have a barometer up there, and this here is the fluid spawner. So all of them just have fresh water, and what I want to do is test out the difference of each one. So for this test I'm going to explain what the difference is. So first one, simple pump, nothing else, no filters, and I'm going to reduce it to 10% fill. So this tank is not full of water. Next one, same thing, it has a single pump, no filter. This one's at 100% fluid. The next one here, I've put a liquid relief valve right here on the pump, so it should only allow liquid through. So it's a relief valve for liquids in a system. It allows liquids to pass, but it does not let gases. So gases are trapped in here, and otherwise this thing is full. The next one, same thing. There's this gas or liquid relief valve, sorry, but this time I added a gas relief valve at the top with a little intake, so there should be no pressure in this tank. Now in this one I have the liquid relief valve again. This time instead of a gas relief, I actually can increase the amount of air in here that's compressed. Next one, same thing, except the tank or the filter is in a different position. And the very last one again has the compressed air option, except this time there's not any filter. It's just a single pump, no filters. So let's see what exactly is going on, because I was a little stumped looking at it. So funny enough, this one here has only the 10% liquid, but if I turn the pump on, you can see that it works. So that's with 10% liquid in here. The rest is nothing. And you can see even here, we're almost at 1 atmosphere. As we keep pumping this stuff out, we're going to hit 1. And I'm very curious. Oh, so now we're actually getting negative pressure. We're creating or it's not negative pressure yet, but we're having less atmospheric pressure than the room around us. But it's still going strong. So interestingly enough, no filter seems to have the water coming out. Now this one is full, so I presume it'll work, as you can see, and it works well. Like, it seems that water is going very far. If I take a look at that, like, look at that, it's a good distance. Now what's happening there is it's because I was just standing out there. But anyway, you could see we are kind of getting this weird pressure drop now. It's actually not because I was standing over there. So funny enough, there's something going on with the pressure for very far distances. You can see here we're at 22. Obviously for close range it doesn't really matter. It's kind of fluctuating a little bit. So I'm very curious if that one is going to fix our problems if we increase the pressure. But you can see still happening, that kind of fluctuation. Alright, but it works. At least it works. Okay, next one we have a filter, right? And funny enough, this does not work. So this is like what our truck's doing. And this one does the exact same thing. So it doesn't matter what side you put the liquid filter on, you get this sort of reaction. Now this one has a filter again, or filter as well, but this one has pressure. Now I'm very curious actually, let's see the pressure. So 26, 75 on this one, 14, so these two work. These are different pressures, even though they're the same configuration with the exception of the location of the fluid release valve, or the fluid filter. Anyway, let's try this one. So, same thing, nothing's happening. If I turn this on, we've increased the atmospheric pressure, but this is still dropping out, so it's not working here, and I presume it will not work here either. And even if we increase the pressure, so having a filter seems to ruin the system, which is counterintuitive in my opinion, because all it is a water filter. It says water can pass, gas can't. You'd expect that gas will be, I mean, the gas is staying in there, but like, let's see if we test this one out here. It just tells us the fluid nozzle is letting stuff come out, but it doesn't exactly tell us what is coming out, so, or what configuration of whatever is coming out. Now I'm very curious if this is going to solve our problem of the little fluctuations. So I'm going to attach this here, turn on the button. Alright, so you can see that we're getting a nice steady stream, and if I go out here, it's steady, and now it's starting to fluctuate, and you can even hear it fluctuating. But if I turn this valve, let's see what happens. Even with the valve turned, I increased the pressure a little bit, I'm still getting that weird fluctuation. So I don't, at this time right now, as I make the video, I don't quite know how to make the fluctuation go away. It seems that it's not that bothersome, but regardless, I mean, it's happening ever so slightly, but it seems to still be getting the water to where we need it to go. And realistically, no, I could see it fluctuating a little bit. Because we're just holding a steady stream. So it's not really consistent, but that is really far as well. Now, with that all said and done, let's take a look at the truck. I'm expecting to find filters in here. Yes, and they're the old liquid and gas filters where this is on it, but if we remove them, I'm just genuinely curious, as a very dumbed down experiment, if I just remove all the filters and let's just see what happens. If the system is going to go back to working properly then. Alright, there we have it. I've removed all the filters, spawn it in, and see what happens with our hose. Alright, well, it's working. So that's good. That's one test complete. The second test is we're going to have a simple water tank next to us. No pumps, just water, okay? And in our little tank here, I'm actually going to find the fluid spawner and reduce it all the way. Let's go all the way, because I want to see if the pump in function works. Okay, so right now if we go to this truck, you can see here that there's 0 water. In theory, this hose can be plugged in to this tank, and if we press pump in, it should start to fill the water tank. So you can see that's actually working, which is good. And then we'd be able to pump out simultaneously, is the plan. If I'm holding it right. There we go. So we're actually able to pump in and out at the same time. So I would say that this test has proven successful and the truck itself now works. So I'm going to go ahead and do this fix on all the fire trucks and all of my water carrying vehicles, meaning water tankers, diesel tankers, all the stuff. I'm just going to go ahead and remove that filter. I'm a little worried because that means we can also be pumping in air accidentally, but I will go ahead and see if this works. One more test now that I've thought about it. I went ahead and created 2 new tests. Both of them do not have a filter for the fluid or for the liquid on the pump, because that's obviously was not working. But what both of them do have now is relief valves for the air. So this left one has a constant air relief valve, if that makes sense. So it's always releasing the pressure. This one is allowing you to choose when you want to have it on or off, and I'm going to put a little red dial. Alright, so let's give these ones a test, because now the ones that did not have any filters worked, so we've confirmed that. But what happens if you relieve the pressure? So right now both are at 155 atmospheres. This one should work normally right now because I haven't opened the valve. What happens if I open the valve? The pressure is dropping and it starts to jump a little bit. Alright, let's see that, what happens. Well, it's dropping, but it's still working. Now that fluid port is constantly letting air out. Very interesting. And I wonder if the side configuration has anything to do with it, but realistically, I think I read somewhere that the developers were saying anywhere on the vessel or tank is the same thing. Like, we have to consider that they're all mixed. The only thing that doesn't apply to is if you have like a door and an airlock, or sorry, a door you open and then water comes in only up to the level of that door and compresses the rest of the air. But anyways, it seems that having a relief valve does not really affect this, whether it works or not. What if there's a constant relief valve? Somehow we're still at 100 and 108 for some reason. I'd think that valve would be letting air out all the time, but it seems to be working regardless. And in fact, steady for now. I'm curious if it's going to stay. Nope. That's just as I was about to say it. It starts to do this because it dropped down to 120. So it's still working. You'd still put out fires, but it's just not working like perfectly and consistently. If anyone knows the key to making it work perfectly and consistently, let me know. Like I said, I tried pumping in more pressure in that system over here, which maybe would work, but in this case we have these relief valves and it still is working. So that's a little bit of a test. We could jump back to our fire truck. On the top of the fire truck, I added just a simple gas relief valve, so now no pressure is supposed to be building in here, and I went ahead and replaced all these old ports with the new ones, and I just want to see what happens here. So in this case, we have water. We're going to turn this on, and it seems to be working. So keep in mind, that's with a gas relief valve on the top. Does a little bit of this jumping thing, and then it kind of sorts itself out. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. I really don't know. Like I said, if you guys know, let me know. But point is, we still could put it afire. At least the hose is working versus previously it was not working. Now the pressure seems to be fluctuating, and that's what's making it kind of jump that way. So I'm not sure if we need more pumps. I don't think so, or that's just how the pump works. But regardless, the fire truck's working again. I'm happy about that. I will fix all of them the same way. Thank you all for watching this video. Stay tuned for more content, more creations, and as always, happy Stormworks, everyone.